Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Caught on the Mic. And today we are joined by a band turning modern rock into a mirror, American Vanity, featuring dual vocal powerhouses, Virginia Franks on bass and vocals, and Luke Hoffman on vocals and guitar, alongside Luke Vanchure on lead guitar and Carter Dennis on drums. This four-piece is stepping into a bold new era, from their widespread exposure as Burn The Jukebox to working with Grammy-nominated producer Matt Squire. We're diving into identity, image, and the sound of their next chapter. Yes, I had to write all that down because there's a lot to share. Like I said, I've been following you guys for a while. How the heck are you?
Amazing.
Who is somebody that has shared or liked one of your videos or interacted with you on social media that has just left you beside yourselves?
Okay, well, there's a lot of good ones, but okay, so this one's special to me because it's my favorite artist. The band Motionless in White is actually a band from NEPA. Chris Motionless commented on our cover of a Motionless in White song, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that's true. Van Wilt and Ian Thornley hasn't commented any videos. I mean, we've had plenty of it.
Right. So you guys built an identity as Burn The Jukebox and just recently changed names to American Vanity. What made this the right moment to step into a new era with this new name and this new identity?
Well, with our new upcoming studio out, like with our new upcoming album, and well, some of it's already out and the rest is to come, we decided that since it's such a new vibe, that this would be the time to, like, if we're going to change anything, let's do it now. And then we decided January 2026, new year, new band name, whole new look, and we thought that would be an ideal time. And now we have all of the songs coming out from the album for like the next couple months, every 6 weeks. So
wow. Oh, wow. That's an aggressive release schedule. Like, do you have guidance? Like somebody kind of saying, okay, hey, look, this is your strategy? Or is this something you guys kind of adopted on your own, this every 6-week release schedule?
We have a really, really good, strong team of management. So I feel like without that, we wouldn't be, I don't know, at least me, I wouldn't think of that. Like, I wouldn't think of all the possible algorithmic things to happen.
So what does the name American Vanity represent to you guys personally?
I feel like we all might have a little deeper meaning. Yeah, you go first. I mean, to me, it's exactly what we are. I think the biggest thing, so I can relate the band name, not just by itself, but in relation to our songs. The way I kind of see it is us being like formerly like a bigger social media band. There's always eyes on us, right? So it's kind of represents of having eyes on you at all times and not having to like form to fit any certain type of mold, right? It's kind of like we can still be who we are and do what we love without really worrying about a lot of the outside factors that bring us down.
yeah, to me, American Vanity is kind of like, it's definitely about showing people that you don't have to fit in to like make a difference, or you can just be like who you are, and you should be proud to show people that, and you don't need everybody's approval.
You know, your bio talks about image, approval, and identity getting tangled in the attention economy. By the way, I love that phrase, attention economy. And kind of going to your point about social media band and things being algorithmic, was there a specific moment where you felt maybe a little bit of tension to adhere to what the algorithm was doing and kind of the attention you were receiving online?
I haven't been in the band for that much, so I'm going to leave it to you guys. I wouldn't say like a new member, but I'm saying they have a lot more, experience.
Yeah, I would say definitely like earlier on when we were doing mainly covers, it was very like, make sure you get this right, because like we don't want people getting like really upset if we mess it up, because that would be like really, really sad. So that was definitely a time when it was like, make sure getting this as close as possible to the thing, which is also like now we are excited to be going into this like new original chapter because it's us and we don't like it's ours, so we don't have to like adhere to very specific like standards.
Right, right. I talk about this with a lot of big name national acts pretty frequently, and that's the silver lining to the era of streaming. Like back in the day, people used to have to live in one lane and one lane only. If you were a punk band, you had to play punk music. If you were a rock band, you played rock music, metal band, so on and so on and so on. But now that everything is so algorithmically driven and you have things like Spotify and such, you don't really have guardrails as far as what your options are as far as songwriting goes. Do you think getting those reps in with all the covers that you did online and the meticulous nature in which you critiqued yourself, do you think that better prepared you for this original music?
I mean, I think it makes you, I think specifically going on to like different styles of music you have to play, you're putting out those covers. I don't know, it's very, very, it's a very, very good thing in the aspect that, I mean, it's easier to get well-rounded, right? Like, you're not just playing one specific thing. Like, you're kind of opening your eyes to different genres, different styles of playing. And I think overall that kind of led us into this tunnel vision of like, okay, like, this is the style of music we want to create, what originals we want to put out, what message we want to get behind them. So like, it all helps, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Like learning like other songs, like you get like different vibes. So like I really enjoy, like as a drummer, I enjoy like playing different vibes. Like they're like I'll hit like an R&B kick, or like I'll hit like a metal vibe, and then like I feel like I'll learn something, like, or I'll learn a song, and like, oh, I learned that, so let me try to incorporate it into my playing as we progress. So I think on the album I've done that.
So how does having dual vocalists shape that songwriting?
So having dual vocalists, it makes it so interesting because we love to like do duets and go back and forth. Like you do a verse, we both do the chorus, then I do a verse, and like basically that whole thing. I believe I've said this before, but obviously we're not Linkin Park, but we like to take elements from like their kind of vibe. Like we love how like back and forth it is, and it makes it like super diverse, and I think it keeps people interested for sure, because it's like, okay, once you get to like through the first verse and the first chorus, then you're like waiting for the second chorus, but it ends up being a different singer, and I think that kind of like adds a little bit more shock value and keeps everybody like hooked. So it's different, and we like doing all the harmonies, which is also super fun when you have multiple vocalists, because you could just lay down like different kinds of voices and like different people with different ranges, and it makes the project a lot more like in depth.
Yeah.
It's like, it also, the way I kind of see it, like, I guess I'm like a really like technical focused person on like, I don't know, intervals and stuff and like vocal ranges, but like the way I see it, I mean, it takes, so like, I mean, I have a lower kind of like tenor / like baritone voice, and Virginia obviously is a higher like alto, maybe a little bit higher than alto, but it takes us from being put into this certain in a specific box of what notes we're able to sing, what style we're able to sing, how much grit we have behind our voice, and it takes that and expands it, because there's a lot of stuff like on our record there. I'm singing a lot of the lower stuff, and then she takes over at the higher, some of the grittier stuff, and it makes a lot more possible, And I think it also like with the lyrics contributing, like it's like a better way to storytell, because we're not just telling a story one side. We have two people, two different stories.
That's a good way of looking at it. Since you're the newest member of the band, how has the dynamic changed from the moment you joined until now, given all of those things?
I mean, when I first auditioned for the band, like going back like a year ago, like so much has changed. I got into it, and it was kind of not always changing, but as soon as I got in, it was like hit the ground running. Like we kind of knew what was in the future, And I mean, all of us just worked really well together. So we just hit the ground running. And like the main priority was just writing, and figuring out the new sound that we wanted to get down. Like, I feel like I want to give like a more in-depth answer, but it was, to me, it's all clouded by as soon as I got in the band, we were touring that whole summer, but we were also like writing as much as we could. And that's kind of all I really focused on, I guess, as a whole.
Yeah. Sometimes those repetitions in just playing with somebody, your sound kind of develops organically. And it sounds like that's where things are at. Now, how do you feel the sound itself has evolved? Do you think you're still kind of a wide array of different styles, or do you guys feel you've honed down your focus a little bit more, specifically with this upcoming album?
I think we've definitely honed down our focus a little bit more. So before we had a lot of different stuff going on, and I'd say now in this new direction, it's definitely alt rock centered. It's heavier than what we've done. Not too heavy, but heavier. And we really love it. We think it's really fun to play.
Not to like group it like crazy, but that center of like alt rock, alternative rock, alternative music. I mean, it's kind of like a combination of all of our influences. Yeah, for sure. And like, it wasn't like, back to what you're saying, like, it wasn't like it kind of happened organically too. Like the music that we listened to and the styles that we play, it kind of all blended together to get this alt rock sound. So you're taking all ends of the spectrum, like the really, really heavy music that we listen to and more mellow. Just collided, if you will.
So who are some of the artists that you subconsciously find in the DNA of this current iteration of the band?
It's such like so much that I could think of.
Off the top of my head, probably definitely Paramore. Paramore, All Time Low, that kind of vibe for sure. I would go with those two. I know earlier I said like some Linkin Park-y elements with like the dual vocalist type thing. And that's what I got for me.
I mean, I was going to say, I put Title Fight up there, some Fleshwater up there. If you know Fleshwater, man. If you don't, you're missing out.
You're turning people on to Fleshwater right now.
Yeah, some beauty school dropout that we discovered.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that, like, as like going back to what I said before, like there's influences where I take stylistically, but like as you guys said, like I think as a band sound wise, like, I can't think of another one that I could. Like, I'm sure there's plenty, but we'll keep it there.
Fleshwater.
Well, I mean, you guys just finished working with Matt Squire, or at least you're working with Matt Squire, and he produced Panic at the Disco, All Time Low, Ariana Grande. He's like got pretty wide catalog himself. So what did he challenge you guys to do differently in the studio that you weren't doing before?
I think back to the repetition side. Like Matt is crazy, insanely talented. So, and being with that level of producer, I don't know, there were so many more repetitions and recording takes involved than I could have ever imagined, but it all obviously worked out to benefit us. But that was a challenge, and writing well in the studio, like we were still doing that. We were still writing, and kind of just let us do our thing for the most part.
Personally, I loved having like his outside opinion. Like, hey, this is great. Why don't you try this also? I mean, his ideas are incredible. He's so nice. He's so nice. We were there for 6 weeks. It was such a fun experience. And I've never really had that kind of like experience in a studio before where it was just like, it was crazy. We were like so much like behind the scenes footage on my phone of like us and Matt Squire just doing absolutely ridiculous things. Like, amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, like, it was so, like, obviously, like, when we went in, it was, like, very, like, polished style-wise, like, because, like, okay, we're gonna do this, but also, like, it was very just, like, fun for all.
Yeah, the first 2 days we were, like, just figuring out a game plan.
Yeah.
basically.
Like I really like the first 2 days. Like obviously I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm shaking, but like I was like, okay, this is gonna be like we're working with like a very awesome person. And, like just by the end, it was just like, yeah,
He brought out the Panic at the Disco guitar that they used like on the first album. Yeah, we recorded a little bit of Ryan Austin.
yeah,
Yeah, the less call that they used.
yeah.
Yes.
I just want to throw out there like another big thing too was we went into the studio with whether they were like full drafted demos or just bits and pieces. Like we went into the studio with a ton of demos, a ton of stuff. So that was a big thing too. Yeah, you're writing more. Yeah, so writing was like cracking down on really what we wanted to push.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the stuff we brought into the studio and we changed to something completely different. Like Lifeline is one of those examples, and then the song we have coming out, Poison Your Cup, those went through a lot of work as a whole. Yeah.
I was going to ask that because sometimes that happens when you go into a studio and you have a ton of demos. Sometimes two ideas become one, or two songs get married into one song. Was there a moment where he pushed a song further than what you guys had expected?
Yeah. After that. And there's a few on there. I don't know if you guys know me. He's awesome to work with. He was just such a good producer. Yeah. There was like it was so cool. So like some of the stuff, like to answer like the question specifically, the song's not out yet. We have one song in the record that Matt came in with a riff, right? And we were like, okay, we're listening to this riff in the band house. We're like, what can we turn this into? And at the same time, we were working on it. Matt was co-writing with us. That completely, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name, but that completely took a turn from what I expected.
I also feel like there are songs that like we went from it was just like a demo, like obviously everything gets recorded, and like we were like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but like you never like we didn't know, like we had, as Luke said, like there were so many demos that we had. That's like, yeah, I think we should do this one, and I remember like there was times where we're like, oh, we'll take this song that's like not 100%, and like we did build on that,
Yeah.
and then it's something that turns out awesome.
So to say, and there's also like uh like remembering the bridge in Lifeline was not there, and I think the bridge from Lifeline came from one of the other demos that we had. There's a lot of material to work with. It's like there was stuff that wasn't there one day, and the next day it was all fleshed out. I remember listening back to the chorus. My heard trying to figure out a lead for it, and Matt's just like thinking in his head, and the chorus comes up, and he's like just humming the melody, and then everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I was about to say, like there'd be times like in like pre-production where like you just take a mic, and we're all just sitting on a desk, and it's like, and then like there's that, and then, like a few days later, like whatever guitars are ready, and then like they'll play back, and then you hear Matt, like, and then Luke plays it. Yeah, there's a lot of like just cool.
We like to call Matt like the Pro Tools wizard, because I've never seen anybody be able to like work that software like that. Like that was like it was just insane.
I remember, like, obviously I'm not a music producer by any, so like I like to record and stuff, and I remember like just sitting behind him, and he's just honestly, and I'm like, how are you? Like, there's just stuff that's like, it was insane.
So you guys have described this album as being more deliberate, sharper, and very hook driven. What changed in your writing process to push that stylistically forward?
Like when we were writing this album, we started listening to like different music, and I definitely think that had an effect on how we were writing and like what we were writing. And as for like the process goes, we would like go into Carter's basement for band practice, and we just sat and we were like, okay, we need to get 5 ideas for 5 new songs today before we leave. And that's what we did for probably a good 2 months until we had a bunch of demos, and then we eventually brought them into the studio, and then we narrowed them down to the 10.
And to like kind of piggyback to the first thing, like you said, sharper. and more hook driven, like specifically like the audible hooks, writing a song, besides from like the whole music video aspect, when you could throw in visual hooks, right? Like that was a really big thing that like when I was writing music on my own, like I never had anything out, but like it changed so much because I was just sitting down writing with these guys, writing with Virginia, some of the lyrics, like there was kind of the thought, how do we make people connect with this in a way that I can't think of right now? Or like, I mean, it's just how many ways could somebody connect with this by this one hook or this one phrase in the song? It's kind of always in the back of the head. Like, how can I make somebody connect with this part of the song?
Yeah. Yeah, and what's funny is we're an instant gratification world now because of social media. And you know, I've talked to people in the music business. Back in the day, it was like you have to get to that hook within the first 45 seconds to a minute of the song. And now songs are getting shorter and shorter and shorter because of social media. So now you have to get to that hook within the first 20, 30 seconds. Like, do you guys feel that pressure whenever you're writing songs?
Yeah, a little bit sometimes. So it's like you want to make sure like when you're writing the song, yes, like there's something that almost immediately needs to like catch somebody's attention, and it's got to be catchy, and it's almost like sometimes when I think about like writing, I think about like how can somebody use this in a TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can I turn this song into a TikTok trend? And if it was a TikTok trend, what would it be? And that's kind of the mindset I think I go into sometimes, like, especially when doing like lyrics and stuff. It's like, okay, how can I connect with people as fast as possible and like make it as like hooky as it can be?
And there's no shame in that. Like old schoolers, like old heads will be like, man, that's like homogenizing the artistic process if you're thinking about things like that. But the people that'll tell you that have never tasted success a day in their lives, you know? Like you have to think about things like that to a certain extent, right?
I was gonna say, like, as much as we try and think of like tailoring the music a certain way, we're also trying to stay ourselves. Like approval addiction, like that is huge, like an all-time high. Like it would go, I would say, hand in hand with the instant gratification.
Yeah, I agree.
They're seeking out others' opinions and trying to make people happy by people pleasing or writing your music for a specific group of people that'll say good things about it. But as much as we were thinking about tailoring our music to a specific group of people and writing hooks this way, at the same time in the back of our heads, you're like, how can we still keep this unique and keep ourselves in this music? Because I think, at least to me, the biggest thing about this record was staying ourselves and keeping our style and whatever kind of flowed naturally in the song.
So with that said, did you guys cut songs that maybe would have made the old version of the band?
I wouldn't say the old version. I think the other thing that we had in a similar style that we were already writing it for the album, but because it's like it's like this group now and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's just like nice riffage and stuff like that. Good melody. We do like simplistic stuff, but it's also has technical elements to it and the way they match together. Like,
I think as far as cutting, I think if I listen back to the demos sometimes, I would say in the complete opposite. Like some of the demos are too heavy, like we had a couple and drop C. So a full step and then in C, right? So
that's my favorite. I love doing stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you're getting your Atreyu on with that, man.
Yeah, we're like different side of the spectrum where we would probably have to be, if we used all the demos, we'd have to be a band with like 7 strings, 8 strings, and like, I'd have to have
start using 13
to 57s on my
right.
Really wouldn't be able to use my Jazz Master anymore.
No, honestly, I think like it's just like what's not on the album. It's just like it's either too heavy or like it's not like the perfect sound that we wanted, or it would just
these ones that we picked just would.
Yeah.
Do you think the band could evolve into some of those heavier songs?
Yeah, I think there's always potential to like. I definitely don't think we're gonna be like screamo in 3 years, but
I'm gonna get really good at black beats. Like that's it. Like 280
Yeah.
BPM clapping. Tap, 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 the entire time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Thing it like I don't know. Like I feel like we're at this like happy medium where we're very like as of right now I don't want to speak as a whole, but we're pretty happy like with the sound that we have now. And if anything evolves, I think it'll be like slower because at the end of the day, Carter's an insanely technical drummer. Virginia's an insanely technical bass player. Luke's an insanely technical guitarist. And we're trying to keep those elements in it and not kind of push it too fast into something.
Again, like, not to be repetitious, you have to evolve organically or else you stop being authentic too. And there's also the live element of the show as well, you know, of your material and kind of going into live performance. Do you guys ever feel like you're playing a character on stage, or are you always authentically yourself?
Honestly, I wish we should really start filming or like recording our entire performances, because recently I've noticed like our sense of humor on stage is, I would say, it's very authentic. I've heard some of the best jokes I think I've ever heard like come from like Luke and Luke. It's fantastic.
No, honestly, like I think on stage is like more of like, okay, this is my time to like be, because like I have a tendency to just go insane. Not like, but I'll just start throwing snakes around. Like I think it's just like live. We just like have fun, do us.
Yeah.
We jumping and stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like at the same time, like we still also keep that like professionalism, like it's an art, right? Like live music is an art. You have to keep that sort of those artistic values in it, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, we just kind of like, we say this all, like, we're just having so much fun. Like, I would have just as much fun if they stuck me behind a curtain, me and Luke behind a curtain. We'd still be doing the same thing. I'd still be jumping up and down, but still be bullshitting with him on the side.
Hell yes.
Yeah, I think without being ourselves, it wouldn't be as fun as it.
Yes, I love hearing that. I gotta give you guys some props, because I mean, it is no secret that you're all young. Like, you're all incredibly young, and you've experienced a lot of exposure in a short amount of time thanks to social media, and you're talented. Like, I tell my friends all the time, you know, a bunch of old dudes that gather and talk about the good old days of playing the metalcore and all that stuff. I'm like, you know, younger musicians now are way more talented than we were when we were the same age as you guys. What do you think it is that has enabled you to be so refined with your artwork at the ages that you guys are at?
Most of us started when we were like, no, not most, all of us started when like playing when we were really young. So I know for me, I started playing bass when I was 10 years old. I'm 18 now, so that's 8 years for me. Carter, I would definitely think, started the youngest.
You know, yeah, kind of go with like where my dad was a drummer, so like drums were always around. And then I think like my grandmother's, someone bought me a drum kit for my first birthday, and then that was really tight. And then actually the kit that's been in this video the entire time, that green drum kit was my first actual drum kit, and I got that at age 5. And then yeah, I started like truly playing, if you will. Like I was playing full songs and everything. So like 5, and I'm 19 now.
It's like specifically, like to answer this question specifically, I would just say, if you look at a 2000 Jeep Cherokee, right? And then you look at a 2026 Jeep Cherokee, so much evolution has evolved. So much stuff has become more accessible, like whether that's lessons or virtual learning, YouTube.
Agreed.
The instruments get easier to play with. You get fractals and quad cortexes and different books. Like, there's just so much out there, you know? So there's just so much you can get a hold of. It makes the process easier, more enjoyable too.
That's a really good point and a really good call out. I just didn't want to be the one to call it out, because I don't want to be the old guy said, well, they have much better tools than we had when we were younger, you know? But I was going to ask if anybody's parents were musicians. Carter's for sure.
Me too.
Virginia? Okay. What did your parents really? So did that have an influence on all of you guys?
Well, my parents, they were in a band together. So I grew up around it. And like when I was like 6, I would be like at their band practice and I was like, I want to do that.
I would say younger than that, even.
Should I point out the elephant in our heads? The three of our parents were in a band together at one point.
No kidding.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think a big thing was just, whether that was like a short period of time, like, I don't know, my dad started playing our guitar at like 15, and then I don't know when your father started playing, but a long time.
Like, same as
Virginia
being like
parents.
7.
I think I definitely think, I don't know about you guys, but I was a kid, like, I don't know, I have a picture when I was 4 or 5 years old of my dad's Randy Rhoads Jackson V around my neck. And he posted on Facebook in 2010 saying like, he's going to play guitar when he's old. And then 9 years old, I wanted to be like my dad. I said, hey dad, play guitar. You take some aspects of your parents, and that's cool. I think it's great that all of our parents played, because I think part of me is like, damn, man, like if our parents didn't have such musical influences on us, we might not be where we are.
Yeah. I'd probably be racing BMX or something.
I would be like a Disney World travel agent.
When can fans expect the record to drop in totality? Or are you just going to trickle out all the songs and then that's that?
So, like we have as of now, specifically, we have a 6-week in between release schedule. So we have Lifeline that dropped almost 3 weeks ago, and then March 6th, the date, Poison Cup dropping, and then 6 weeks after that, we have another single dropping. Then we have 2 more, and then from there, it's kind of either the same thing or we drop the record and it's.
I know for sure the in the summertime is when the full vinyl version of the record comes out.
Touring on it.
Oh yeah,
Got it. We're gonna be touring on that album. That'll be so cool.
That's where I was going next. Is like, how aggressive are you guys going to get with the tour cycle this summer?
We're hoping to be very busy.
I was playing every day. We're playing every weekend this summer. Like stuff's just adding up.
yeah. I think it'll keep progressive.
Yeah,
There's still a few more months with those songs.
yeah.
We got a bunch of time, and we still already have a lot of it.
Yeah,
And
building.
they're pretty spread out right now. So we'll see what even summer it'll just be a ton. I'm hoping.
But like the summer, like we should, even if it's all not released on its own, the vinyl will most likely be. It will be out, and then we'll be touring off of that record. So even if you haven't heard it on Spotify, you come to a concert, you're gonna hear one of those songs you've never heard before.
Yes.
Amazing. Now, you guys don't have to reveal this. You can just answer this with a yes or no. But are there bigger plans at hand that you're not able to share yet as far as some of your touring plans?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes right off the bat.
Okay. I can kind of read between the
I'm gonna
lines.
say yeah.
I can read between the lines, and everybody loves to know a little bit of a good secret, right? So 1 year from now, let's just kind of manifest some things. Where do you see the project 1 year from now?
Would love to be, I think, okay, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think we would love to be definitely on to the next album. New project, new songs, still obviously playing this album that's coming out now, but we'd like to, be working on more ideas, definitely, obviously lining up summer tour dates. And that's where I would like to be. And I would like definitely to have like a good social media standing.
Specifically, still touring on that record, and then still writing for the next EP or record. But
Whatever happens.
just getting more experiences.
Playing some cool festivals.
Some
meeting
cool-
cool bands.
Some cool West Coast shows. Get on Kilby Court. That'd be cool. Yeah, there's some outbreak. There's an outbreak.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I think just like taking what we already have and just keep running with it.
So, my closing question that I ask everybody that does the show, you guys all one at a time. I want to hear an answer from every single one of you. Through your experience with American Vanity and everything that you are looking forward to manifesting, so on and so on. What's your advice for making the world a better place tomorrow than what it is today through your eyes?
I think I'm such a music focused person. So I think specifically to make the world a better place, in my eyes, music is a universal language. I think we just have to keep pushing out music, different styles of music to make people feel different things, you know? Music, I mean, everybody kind of relates to it. I think to kind of make the world a better place, we just need to get on this cycle where new music's coming out. There's new stuff to be discovered, you know? I guess that's an odd answer, but music is such an important thing. So I think keeping music at the forefront.
I would say, to make like the world a better place, I think everybody should promote being themselves and not like conforming to what you're supposed to be or like how you're supposed to act or what you're supposed to do or listen to or whatever. Like, I think it would be like the world would be a better place if like everybody wasn't constantly looking for like approval. Like, you don't need to be liked by everybody, and I think just keep that in mind.
I think it's important to not stop yourself from being successful.
Listen to the music you want, perform the music you want, write the music you want. Be yourself.
Be a better person. You know, there's always room for improvement in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
I tell you what, a couple of weeks ago, I got on one of those late night diatribes where I was just sitting doom scrolling on my phone. And, you know, I got so sick of, you know, reading about socio-political divide and everything ugly that's going on in the world right now. And I posted some long diatribe that kind of summed up everything that you guys were just saying. It's like, if more people shared joy and the things that brought them happiness in the world instead of all the negativity, there would be a lot less conflict and a lot less, you know, bad. So awesome. Well, why don't you guys tell anybody that's watching or listening to this where they can find you guys online?
If you are watching or listening to this, you can find American Vanity at This Is American Vanity on all social medias, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you have, we're on it. And then if you want to listen to our original songs, make sure you check them out on Spotify and also all other streaming platforms. And there will be more to come shortly.
Awesome. Guys, Virginia, Luke, Carter. Thank you guys for doing the show. The world's a much better place with you guys in it. And everybody, please go follow American Vanity.
March 6th.
Thank you.
March 6th, everybody.
Thank you for having us.